Hi there. Thank you for joining us for our first Teen Youth Month Financial Training Ground pop-up. My name is Gabby and this is Lynette. We work for Horizon Credit Union. Just a quick note, everyone has been muted and cameras are turned off, but feel free to use the chat to ask any questions. So in this workshop, you will explore how setting short and long-term financial goals can help your financial well-being, examine how to use different accounts and payment methods for your goals, and determine how to set and maintain a budget. So why budget, you might ask? Well, making good financial choices, including budgeting, can help you to become financially independent in the future, and that would mean that you're able to support yourself and live on your own as an adult. It can also help you to manage your finances well, which is a common stressor for young adults. It will also help you to be in better financial shape, including having money when you retire, having money for emergencies, having less debt compared to your income. What is a budget? A budget is an estimate of how you will spend and earn over a certain amount of time. When you create a budget, you're making a plan for how to spend and save your money. When you budget well, you will have money for an emergency and have money for things that you need and want. And you won't spend more than you earn or have a lot of debt. Setting goals. Budgets can help you to reach your financial goals. Financial goals are personal goals that you set for yourself related to your finances. And they can be things like, I want to save enough money to buy a laptop, I want to save enough money to help pay for college, or I want to save enough money to be able to buy a house. There are 3 goal types: short-term financial goals, which can be accomplished in up to 2 years, medium-term financial goals that can be accomplished in up to 5 years, and long-term financial goals that can be accomplished in more than 5 years. Let's take a look at our financial goals and see what types of goals they are. I want to save enough money to buy a laptop. That would be a short-term goal. I want to save enough money to help pay for college. That would be a medium-term goal. And lastly, I want to save enough money to be able to buy a house. That would be a long-term goal. Next, Lynette is going to go over SMART goals with us.
So what's a SMART goal? Specific, exactly what do you want to achieve? Figure out the steps it will take to get there. And measurable, how long will it take? How much money is involved? Assign real numbers to your goal. And then achievable, can you accomplish this? Make a goal that you can reach. Having specific steps to do it will help. And relevant, why is this important to you? Choose a goal that matters to you because you'll be more likely to take the steps to reach it. And timely, when do you need to reach this goal? Think about whether it's a short, medium, or long-term goal, like Gabby just mentioned. And then here we're looking at the budgeting with the 50-30-20 rule. So 30% of our budget are wants, 20% are savings and debts, and needs are up to 50%. So some examples of those wants are lattes or going to the movies or getting your hair styled. And some examples of the 20% is maybe for your retirement account, paying off debt you owe, such as student loans for college. And some examples of needs are groceries, house or apartment payments, phone bill, and medical costs. So Madison is 16. She wants to go to college in 2 years, and she's hoping to save some money to help pay for it. She also likes going to a movie once a week with her friends. She makes $150 per week at her part-time job. Her mom pays for all of her needs, so she's able to use her budget solely on wants and savings for right now. What's a good way for Madison to adjust her budget? Would you guys guess put it all in savings, use half for wants and half for savings, or use 30% for wants and 70% for savings. Do we have any guesses? Go ahead and feel free to put those in the chat.
Okay. I'm seeing one super saver who says to put it all in savings. And then I'm seeing one for 30% wants and 70% for savings. I'm going to go ahead and click that since I know I would want to go to the movies.
Perfect. So Madison uses 30% of her money for wants and 70% for savings. Great answer. Using 30% of her money for wants and 70% for savings is a great choice. That means she's following the 50-30-20 rule. Even though she doesn't have any needs, she's using up to 30% for wants and using the extra money for savings. That means in 2 years, she'll save $11,700 for her goal of helping to pay for college. Plus, she'll have some money for things she wants to do on top of it.
Okay, so using accounts to help you budget. So first we have savings accounts. A good idea is to keep the 20% or more from the savings part of your budget here. This makes it less likely that you'll spend it instead of saving. If you have an emergency, you'll have some extra money, and your money will grow through interest. Then we have checking accounts. Keep the 50% you spend on needs and 30% you spend on wants in a checking account. You can also keep some of this money as cash. You can also write checks or use a debit card to pay for items directly out of a checking account. Keep in mind, if you're under 18, you may need a parent or guardian to co-sign when you open an account. Savings accounts grow your money through compound interest. With compound interest, you earn a percent of the money you put into the account. The next month, you earn a percent of the money you put in, plus a percent of the interest that you already earned. Different financial institutions have different interest rates. Look for a higher interest rate to help grow your money faster. Checking accounts make it easy to access your money. You can get cash from ATMs by using a debit card that uses money directly from your account or at the bank. You can write checks from the account to pay bills, and you can keep track of your finances online or with a banking app. Check your balance anytime, and you can use it for day-to-day expenses and automatically pay your bills. Both checking and savings accounts at most financial institutions are insured by the government up to $250,000. That means if something happens to the financial institution, you won't lose your money. Okay, now we got another scenario. So when Jamal turned 18 and graduated, he set up a checking account and a savings account. Now he's working part-time while he gets a college degree. He has a lot of expenses, but he wants to be sure he can have fun and save too. This week, Jamal's friends go to a concert. He wants to go, and then he'd have to spend some of the money that he's set aside for savings. If he does that, he may have to wait longer to get the new laptop that he's been saving up for. His current laptop works okay, but he's been excited about getting a faster one for school and gaming. What should he do? Go to the concert or save for the laptop? Lynette, what would you do?
Well, I would say save for the laptop.
Okay,
I really want to go to the concert, but I'm going to click save for the laptop.
let's see. Jamal saves for the laptop. Jamal decides to save for the laptop. His friends have a great time at the concert, and Jamal wishes he had decided to go with them. Even though he couldn't make it to the concert, his friend tells him he can get a limited edition t-shirt from it online. He's in a hurry to get to class, and there's only a few t-shirts left. Should Jamal check his account balance before he buys the t-shirt, or just hurry up and make the purchase? Should we click don't be late to class and make the purchase, or wait until after class so he can check his account and hope there are some t-shirts left? I'm going to click don't be late to class and make the purchase. Since he missed the concert, let's make sure he gets the t-shirt. Jamal buys the t-shirt and then gets to class. Jamal buys the t-shirt online, but when he returns from class, he sees that he didn't have enough money in his checking account. He uses his debit card, so he gets charged a fee. He'll have enough money to cover the fee and the overage once his paycheck clears. In the meantime, he moves some money over from his savings account, but then his computer breaks before he's ready to get a new one. Since he didn't go to the concert, he can afford to get the laptop early, but he has to be very careful with his money for a few months until he builds up his balance again.
So let's look at credit and debit. So credit is when you borrow money and promise to repay it at a later date. You may also owe interest on the money you borrow. And interest is the interest you owe on credit works similarly to interest you earn on savings accounts. And debt is the amount of money borrowed, including any interest and fees. This is the money you are responsible for paying back within a specified amount of time. Using credit and making payments. When you use a credit card, you pay off the entire balance when it's due. So credit card bills are on a monthly cycle. And if you do that, you don't owe any interest or fees. Or you can pay the minimum amount each month until it's paid off. If you do that, you'll owe interest each month on the amount you haven't paid, and that can add up. If you don't pay the minimum amount, you'll owe fees and interest. So your credit score evaluates whether you're likely to pay money back on time based on how you've repaid credit in the past. Your credit score is built on your payment history, how much you owe, how long your credit history is, the types of credit you have, like credit cards, house mortgages, etc., and how much new credit you have. In order to have a credit score, you need to borrow money. And in order to have a good credit score, you need to borrow wisely. That means you only borrow what you can afford to pay back on time. So how your credit score affects you. Your credit score determines whether you are able to open a credit card or borrow money for other things, like buying a house or getting a private student loan to pay for school. Having a good credit score gives you more opportunities to borrow in the future. Having a bad credit score can prevent you from being able to take important steps like getting a loan for school or buying a house. So you use credit if you need to make a large payment right away, but you don't have enough money. So for example, you need money for an emergency or you don't have enough to cover a need. You want to build up your credit score by using credit responsibly. For example, you buy something on credit that you can afford now, then you pay the entire bill as soon as it's due, so you don't owe interest or fees. So Camilla and her friends have decided to go on a trip during winter break. They're going to go skiing in Colorado. And Camilla is excited and has saved up the money for the airfare, hotel, ski passes, food, and ski equipment rentals. The week before she plans to leave, she realizes that she forgot to save for a winter coat. Since she lives in California, she doesn't have one. She can't afford the extra cost now. What should she do? Gabby, what do you think she do? What do you think she should do? Put it on her credit card or go without the coat?
I'm going to say, having been from California and now living in Idaho where it does snow, she's going to want to put it on her credit card.
Good guess. So Camilla puts the winter gear on her credit card. She knows it's going to take her a while to pay off, but she doesn't want to be cold on the trip. She has a great time skiing with her friends while she's there, and she wants to buy a fun memento of the trip. Plus, she sees some little gifts she wants to take home to her mom and little brother. What should she do? Put the items on her credit card or don't buy the items? And remember, you can always put the answers in the chat.
Let's see if we get any responses for that. Okay, I'm seeing overwhelmingly do not buy the items.
So Camilla doesn't buy the items. She's sad not to have the memento of her trip and wishes she could have gotten the presents for her family, but she's glad when her credit card bill arrives. If she'd bought them, she would have struggled to pay the minimum balance. This weekend, she'd like to go out with friends. She can pay the minimum balance either way, but if she doesn't go, she can put more toward her bill. What do you think she should do?
Let's see. I'm getting an even 50-50 for pay the minimum balance and skip dinner and pay more than the minimum balance. So I'm going to make the executive decision that since she just went skiing with her friend, she's going to skip dinner and pay more than the minimum balance.
Excellent. So Camilla skips dinner and pays more than just the minimum balance. The next month, when her bill comes, there are no added fees and she's paying less interest. She does the math and realizes that paying a bit more on her bill saved her $10 in interest than if she just paid the minimum and continued to do so. If she only pays the minimum for the rest of the time until the bill is paid off, she'll end up paying $55 more than if she'd paid it in full right away. So she decides to cut back on what she's spending on wants each month so she can pay it off sooner and get out of debt.
Okay, so keeping track of your finances. Keeping track of finances can help you to budget for the future, plan for unexpected expenses, not spend more money than you earn, pay off your debt sooner, and stay on track with savings goals. How to keep track of finances. So a couple different things you could do are use a notebook or a spreadsheet. Write down expenses and income. Keep a list of every time you spend money. Track your spending against your budget. And a notebook will allow you to track offline, but a spreadsheet can do the calculations for you. Another way is to use envelopes. Label 3 envelopes: needs, wants, savings. Put your income into the designated envelopes based on the 50-30-20 rule. And when the needs or wants envelopes are empty for the month, you're finished spending. You can also use an app. There are many available apps to track spending, including ones that can link automatically to your bank accounts. Also, if you guys have a Horizon account, we have a money management tool on there that you guys can use for the same thing that's super helpful. So next steps. Think about your personal financial goals. Decide which strategy you want to use for budgeting. Consider opening a bank account for savings and spending, and talk to your parent or guardian if you're under 18. Start saving early. Be careful about your debt. And talk to an adult you trust, like a parent, guardian, or teacher, if you need help. You guys can continue your financial journey at the Financial Training Ground on HZCU.org. Thank you so much for joining Lynette and I, and we hope you have a terrific day.
Thank you.